Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time. So, I have been the busiest bee that ever was for about the past week, and I have made so much work. I have made so many videos, I have filmed so much stuff, I have gotten so much done, and I've still got a bunch more to go. But on the list of that in the news, this Friday at 8 PM BST, for all the Spring Realmers who, for whatever reason, haven't been on the server for about a month, the second dungeon, which is the Cold Forge, will be opening its gates, so that people can wander in and proceed most likely to die in a fire. It is a forge, after all. After that, I will of course be attending MCM London between the 28th and the 30th. I'll be there the whole weekend, wandering around, presumably trying to keep folks from buying a ludicrous number of plushies. But we will be there once again with Tumblr user Sparks Flame, and presumably I at least will be making some kind of appearance at the Yog Meet. I don't know exactly what the details of the Yog Meet are. I will hopefully have some finalized details next week. But I get back on Halloween, the evening of Halloween, actually, and that's a Monday. I don't normally do a live stream on a Monday, but it being Halloween, and me being such a horror fan, I figured it was about due that I had some kind of Halloween scream, if you will. So, if you head over to twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon on Halloween night, you can watch a couple of movies with me. Well, 3 is what I currently have planned. And we will be starting off with The Final Girls, freshly delivered today. I haven't viewed this myself just yet, but it looks pretty heavily up my alley, as the case would be, because it goes heavily into horror movie tropes, especially 80s slasher flicks. And that is a 15 and will be displayed as such. After that, however, we have Night of the Living Dead. This is the remake version by Tom Savini. Wasn't able to work on the original version, and it was made in 1990, which means it's actually as old as I am. And obviously I couldn't do some kind of Halloween movie night without having something from George Romero, I guess. And I'm not 100% settled on what the third movie will be, but taking us into the wee hours of Samhain, we have currently planned Battle Royale. If you don't know, this is basically what Hunger Games is, but better. Basically, the plot of Battle Royale is that the government has gone to heck, and now to curb juvenile delinquency, they take the least well-behaved classes in every school and subject them to a Battle Royale to the death. It's beautiful. Beautiful movie. Also stars Takeshi Kitano, who is a big name in Japanese cinema, if you don't know that one. But that is the plan currently. Stay tuned next week for more details on the Halloween Scream. And now the schedule. On Thursday night, we have more Midnight Souls at 11 PM BST over at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon. On Friday, we have an episode of Edgington with some road developments. On Saturday, we see the results of the Spring Realm dungeon opening. And at 9 PM BST over at twitch.tv/thedragonhat, assuming all goes to plan, we have Dungeons & Dragon Hat's Path of Steel once again. On Sunday, we have an episode of XCOM 2 where we find out what Advent plays RuneScape with. On Tuesday, we have an episode of Dungeon Maker, and at 9 PM BST over at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon, we have Yog Dwarves Live number 62, where hopefully we have some inventory issues resolved. Lastly, on Wednesday, we have Edgington, where, you know we mentioned worst case scenarios? Yeah, awkward. And on to the questions. These are, of course, drawn from the comments section of the preceding video, so if you have anything you want to ask me, drop it down below, and we'll see what happens. Our first question comes from Lucas Edwards. Do you have an explanation for player immortality in Spring Realms? Now, this is sort of drawing off of the Redmaker storyline, which is Redmakers respawn. That's one of their most quintessential traits. They don't die of old age, but then again, nothing does, but Redmakers are the only things that can come back from the dead, more or less, in that they don't, strictly speaking, die. In the course of Spring Realms, there is a very specific reason that Redmakers come back from seeming death, which is that they don't actually die, partially because Atronicus is no longer around to mediate death, but the spirits that are Redmakers in Spring Realms are composed of sort of 2 elements. The first is a flame provided by Moriboka, whose dungeon we're going into very soon. And the second is waters provided by Akinum, Akinum being the person who sort of originally combined these two and created spirits. Which basically means that red makers are steam. A form of divine steam, or at least that's what's... I guess you could describe all spirits in Spring Realms as being a form of divine hallowed vapor. But what happens when a red maker in Spring Realms would die is that they actually just dissipate into a sort of cloud and reform elsewhere into a corporeal state. But they can force themselves back into that gaseous form temporarily by using the ethereal brews. So, a little bit of lore, and that's how immortality works in Spring Realms. Melody Smith asks, where do you get your instrumental music from? I have a lot of music in my videos. I like to add it there because it makes things... It gives us a nice little contingency. I like to put together soundtracks for my series a lot. Makes everything, like, coherent. But the vast majority of the music I use comes from Incompetech, which is by Kevin MacLeod, and... Let me see, for Yokai Temple I use a lot of tracks by Hiragi Fukuda, who is a Japanese blues artist. And very recently I've started using Kai Engel a lot. I probably don't credit them as much as I really should. I am very bad about that, I apologize. It's a failing of mine, I know. It mostly goes down to laziness, I guess. I should put it in my video descriptions, but... yeah, Kai Engel, Kevin MacLeod, and Hiragi Fukuda. Basically, all of the musical artists I use. Lastly, Flixamon asks, will you ever do any Magic the Gathering live streams? I'm not sure how I would do that. I could do Magic the Gathering online streams, I guess, for drafts and such. Actual live streams of physically playing Magic are a little harder to do because there's few people around that I'm aware of, at least, that still play it, that I could bring onto a live stream, and then that's also, how do I set that up? Like, how do I have the camera set up, that kind of thing. I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't currently have any plans to. And that's it for this week, so stay tuned for next week when I have some more solid plans with regards to the Halloween Scream, and I'm going to have a very busy week. Anyways, catch you all next time.